Hello, Facebook ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hello, guys. Podcast 84. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about the results on October, which are starting to, the ROAS and everything is dipping down, and we're starting seeing lesser results. And we have also with us today 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, we have a lot. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 questions, okay? So we're going to cover all of that. I hope that your question is going to be within the normal podcast. If it's on the paid, you know what you have to do. Just for your information, just so that we can clear this, the order of the questions is not based on when you have sent it. Also, it's not based on who you are. It's just a random shuffle that my video editor is doing every time from the ones that I have picked from the channel. So this is something that you cannot control if you try to cheat the system to be in one. If you're lucky, you're going to be on the free part. If not, it's going to be on the paid part. Yeah, that's it. So before we go to the questions, let's discuss a little bit about October. On October, basically right now, we do see that we have some low results. We had a very good August and we had a decent September. Most probably we had a decent September because it was the results were inflated from August, and we had some really good data coming inside the ad accounts of that period, and they survived pretty well on September. For people that they have done changes on the ad account of September, I have seen that they have been impacted earlier from other people that they have stayed with the ads that they have scaled during August. So, October. I'm seeing a lot of Reddit posts again from people saying that you should close your ads and stuff. I'm upvoting them, as I told you several times, because I really want people to close their ads. It's going to be better for all of us. The second thing that I'm seeing is more consulting calls, more people sending me messages. I see your messages also in the comments and all of that, and I do understand that there are a lot of people that they're struggling right now. On my end, I'm seeing some really bad days, like I don't remember them now exactly, but I think it was one of the Tuesdays of October that was really bad. So I'm seeing some days which are extremely bad, like really bad, and I'm seeing some other days which are normal, but I'm not seeing really good days. That's the difference. So I'm seeing normal days and a very bad day, for example, that can actually kill the profits of 3 days, of 3 normal days. This is what I'm seeing. Now, given the fact that I'm on the inner circle, we have also freelancers there, except from business owners that they have their own e-commerce store and stuff, and we see several accounts and we know. I can tell you that I'm a little bit confused because the trends that I see, maybe I have stacked many good ad accounts from clients that they come from YouTube and they're good clients because I told you that I'm picking my clients. If you don't have good numbers and your numbers don't make sense within the platform, I will tell you to just try to fix your whole business and then come again later. One guy came to me 1.5 years later after discussing all of that when he fixed his funnel and stuff, because this is not about me taking the fee for a month. It's all about having a client for a very long period. So maybe I'm handpicking projects that I really like, but on the other hand, I'm seeing also there the trends. When I'm talking to you about the trends in a specific month, I'm not talking to you based on my strongest accounts. I always have a mix of very strong accounts and very established businesses from my older clients, but I do also take new projects, even new ad accounts, when I like the project. So just so you know, it's not my opinion based on very strong ad accounts. That being said, October is going to be challenging. There are going to be several companies that are going to struggle, and there are going to be several companies that they have to take serious decisions like dropping the spend or maintaining it with losses. I know that it's going to be a very small minority that is going to do that, but I'm pretty sure that these are the companies that are just going to maintain their threshold and they're going to scale more during Black Friday. I know it might sound crazy and some of you are not going to understand it, is because you're not mature enough into the e-commerce business in order to understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes losing in 1 month in order to benefit from the others and make more money, it's something that a lot of times companies do when they don't want to lose the spend that they have actually established on the platform. Last thing, on October, if you work with several campaigns, you have always the luxury of actually closing one campaign or two. If you're working with a 20% rule, you have to lower your budgets, which I know that it can influence you more. But in my opinion, the best way when you work with multiple campaigns is just, if you see that your average is not doing well, just close one campaign. Just try to do it in the least possible way, just don't do it too much, because you're going to need all of these evergreen campaigns and the spend for the Black Friday in order for you to be able to scale. It is a very good opportunity also for smaller companies that they do spend 5, 10K, 20K to actually be able to take more budget on this period, even with losses, because a lot of their competitors, which are the big leaders of the market, having a higher threshold on the spend, they're going to be maybe pushed to actually liberate budget. What do I mean by that? It's completely different to lose X amount of money every day when you spend 2K, and completely different to lose when you spend 20K per day. Your negative days are going to hurt you more. That being said, some very big companies with big spends, most probably they're going to lower the spend in order to try to maintain. That's all about October, and this is the topic for today, that you have to do risk management over here. There are two ways of approaching it. Either you are going to just have to lower it and then attack again in the first 15 days of November, trying to replenish budget that you lost, or even leaving it as it is, even with a promo, I don't know, so that you can be able to just survive on this period. That's the goal over here, to just be able to survive during October, because you're going to need these evergreen campaigns and the spend for November. It would be super unfortunate if you had campaigns running since the start of the year, for example, and you just close them on October, just 1 month before Black Friday that you need them the most. Let's go to your questions. Guys, I hope that you are not going to overdo it with lower spend. I know that a lot of people are going to panic and they're going to overdo it, but I do believe that if you maintain as much as you can, you're going to be compensated during November. I'm sure of that. Of course, we have the political ads which are doing all of that. And even if we have the elections in the first week of the November, we're not going to have any ads running there because they stop 1 week earlier. That being said, and without me noticing a crazy amount of increase on CPM, but seeing also the triple whale email with the information about the results, I can see that in all of the businesses we have drops in terms of the return on ad spend. Now, some companies might need 2 rows and they have 5 rows, so they're able to actually be able to drop on that side. But some other companies that they do play always in the verge of being profitable and they try to scale all the time, they're going to be impacted a lot during October because it's going to be a slow month from what we have seen so far. And coming closer to the elections, I do believe that there are going to be more ads and more ads. So be careful and try to maintain it. That's all my advice about it. Let's go to your questions because we have too many. So Constantino's brief question: one of my Advanced Plus has 5 creatives and it is pushing spending the most spend per day for one that isn't the best at converting. So this is pretty typical, not to spend on the bad one, but to just spend in a dominant ad. If you see our videos in the channel, my videos in the channel about ASC, Advanced Shopping Campaigns Optimization, then most probably you will understand that this is one of the major things that we watch. We watch the leading ad and what it's doing. Of course, I do believe that there are cases that I have shown optimization when the leading ad is bad and what you should do. But one thing that I must say is that you don't send me emails with print screens. Don't send me questions that they say that I have this ad set, this ad set, this ad set. how am I going to optimize? I cannot tell you how to optimize because I can do that only if I see your ad account. This has nothing to do with you paying a consulting call, okay? I want to clarify that. This is just how my brain functions, okay? If I don't see an ad account, play with the columns, go right and left, see many more things from what you're just giving me as information, I cannot help you on optimization. It's not that easy, or you can say if you want that I'm not that good in order to do it. And it says, do you recommend, what would you do? Do you recommend duplicating and removing the one it was pushing? In these cases, a lot of times what we do is that we see how many ads below that we have with some glimpse of hope. Of course, the ROAS that you see on the other ads, it doesn't mean that they are the real ROAS because they're not taking the whole budget. That being said, I need to tell you that the only thing that you can do in this case is just close the leading ad and just take a gamble, okay? But it's a gamble. It's a gamble that might pay off or not. And what you need to see is that the whole budget is going to be distributed all over again, and maybe it's going to work, maybe not. If you want to be more modest and do it in a more controlled way, what you can do is that you can just remove this one, especially if you have other ads inside there having sales. You can remove this leading ad and just start the campaign all over again with the other ads. So the other option is to actually be able to spot if you have other glimpses of success to your other ads, and if you do, maybe it's better if you just remove the leading ad that was taking the budget for no reason and just do a new campaign with all the other ads that you see that they have some results, to see how the budget is going to be distributed all over again, getting also the boost of the first 24 hours. Now, in your case, for example, I cannot tell you because I don't know if you have left it enough period. For example, you have to understand that there's so many different variables. If you're selling a high ticket item, maybe you should leave it for 5-6 days and maybe it doesn't have good ROAS initially. If you haven't left it for a good amount of time, or all of this kind of stuff, checking checkouts in order to see if you have delayed reporting and you're expecting sale. It's very difficult for me to tell you what you should do, but at least I'm answering to your question over here in a way to maybe give you some ideas of what I would have done if I was going to see it. So you also say that, do you recommend duplicating and removing the one that was pushing? We explained that, or pausing the one that isn't the best and see if it readjusts. This is a gamble, as I said. You never know how it's going to go. I understand why it's not pushing for the ones that they have a higher ROAS and better customer quality, or so my Google Cloud tracking. I'm not sure I understand how this works. And I did a 250 call with you some time ago, and it was totally worth it. Sorry if people don't respect your time. Yeah, he's talking about the previous example. Thank you first of all for the trust and for the unofficial review over here. Thank you very much. I'm trying always to give the best that I can on the calls. The thing about the other thing that you said, that it's pushing the budget to the one that's not working. Let me tell you this. We always said that we do trust the algorithm and that we know that the algorithm is good, but we haven't said that it's always correct. So sometimes you have to go and intervene. This is why we optimize CBO campaigns and advanced shopping campaigns, because we do believe in the algorithm, so we let it optimize, but if something goes wrong, we have to intervene and have to fix it. And sometimes it helps a lot, because if we just leave the ads just like this, many times are going to work, but for the times that they're not going to work, we will have false data or we will not know. Okay, now, good evening, Konstantinos. I'm getting hit by Hurricane Milton. Guys, I hope that everyone is going to be fine. I think that it hits today in around 6 hours, because we're video shooting this on Thursday. Or it hit already. No, on Thursday night it's going to hit. So I have many clients in the United States. I hope that all of you guys are going to be fine. And I can beat videos, but I have some questions. Is it good to schedule campaigns for different days to target each hot pocket? You don't have to do that, because we're covering this with the crazy method. The crazy method, it's targeting different hot pockets. What did we say? Randomness of the initial result. The first sale is going to bring another sale, creating a hot pocket. If the first sale is a very good sale, from a person that it can create a very strong hot pocket, then you're lucky. If you do this in between days, of course you're trying to get that, the randomness of someone buying. But on the other hand, when you do the crazy method, you're getting this event immediately. That's why the crazy method has been created, because I have seen that when I was launching ads on different days, I was having different results. So I said to myself, how can I overcome this thing of me not being able to control the first sale by just putting more inside, so increasing the chances of getting 1 out of the 5, 6, 7 ad sets and a hot pocket that's going to work. So the crazy method is doing that, and you don't have to do different days, because we already go with more entry points to hot pockets in order to find 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Next one, should all changes be made at midnight or around 6 a.m.? 6 a.m. is my preferred time. Of course, for me that I operate with many different countries and stuff and time zones, it's not always easy. But if I have the luxury of putting alarm clocks for each other account, and just optimize them, I would optimize them at 6 a.m. The reason is that the budget is setting at 12 o'clock. But you need to give also some extra hours for some delayed reporting, which is going to come on these hours. So 6 a.m. for me is my preferred time to optimize. Also to launch ads, okay? You mentioned that now if it's 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., still it's not an issue, okay? Just don't be so strict with it. You mentioned that if you change the theme for the website, will it reset the pixel data? I never said that. What I said is that sometimes we do see some websites that they're having some very stupid landing pages, and they just keep converting, and we say why. Then the owner says, but I want to make it better, and they do a better website which is looking so nice, but it's not converting as the other one. The reason for that is that it's not because the previous landing page is better, no. The reason is that your pixel has been trained to send people that they do convert in this stupid landing page, okay? You have to understand that the more data it collects, the more sales, then the more it creates an avatar, which because of the interest that this ideal avatar is going to have by gathering all the interest of the people that they have converted, this is going to be just an avatar which is going to be, it's going to be easier for this avatar to just convert in this stupid landing page. So this is why, and this is why sometimes people don't even change their landing page even if it looks like next one. Or is it when you change the URL? No, when you change the URL, pixel doesn't reset either. What is the criteria needed for there to be a really good hot pocket, ROAS, AOV, or anything particular? In order for you to say that you hit a very good hot pocket, you need to have good results, of course, but also you need to have volume. There is no point of discussing about a hot pocket if you don't have a volume, which means that you're getting sales out of it. And not just sales in one day, but you need to have consistency in between the days and keep getting sales. This is a good hot pocket, a hot pocket that keeps that continues being live, and a hot pocket that's also giving you volume of sales and not just 1 or 2 sales. Okay, let's move to the next question. Hi Konstantinos, thanks for the concept of the attack plan and how to ramp up spending between October and November. Quick clarification on running evergreen campaigns and Black Friday, Cyber Monday promos simultaneously. Yeah. Let's say that my evergreen campaign for my best-selling product has an offer of 50% plus free shipping when people sign up for email. Would you consider having a more aggressive BFCM offer for this product, say 20 or 25% off, or this is a time for exploring multiple campaigns with different products? I would, for sure, I would do campaigns with a more aggressive offer if you can offer it for your best-selling things. But you can test also selling other items and maybe initiate people to it. I just want to avoid confusing customers if they see the evergreen ad and then see a better BFCM offer or vice versa. Thanks so much for your guidance. Okay, let's analyze this a little bit. So first of all, I need to say something about the offers. Your offer needs to look good, okay? If you have an offer which is 10%, then most people are going to see this as a low percentage. So, and you have to imagine also that on this period, they're going to just keep seeing ads, Black Friday, 50%, 40%, whatever they might see. So in order for you to have a good offer, you can phrase things in a different way. If you just give a 10%, just try to do 30%, $30 off coupon, for example, okay? Just try to put it on dollars, like save $40 or whatever, if it's a very small offer and you cannot offer more. In my opinion, on Black Friday, you should go, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you should go with the best offer that you can have. Even if you're thinking that you're going to lose money, maybe you're going to make money because the cost per purchase is going to be lower. So you have to calculate also that in your best offer. The other thing that I need to say is that you're going to get volume and you're going to get people that are going to be introduced to your brand, so you will go for lifetime value. So, about your question though, having evergreen campaigns with 50% offer and then putting a Black Friday with 20-25, the worst case scenario is that they're going to see a 50% offer and they will end up on the website and see 20% offer. So this is not bad at all, okay? And then you can close it and you can keep having them. So I wouldn't change anything on your evergreen campaigns. I would leave them as they are. And I would do my normal Black Friday ads with a bigger promo. The worst case scenario is that they will see a smaller offer and they will go to the website and see a bigger offer. So problem solved. Great video, my friend, and thank you. I don't have an e-commerce business, but I have a brick and mortar business here in Spa Salon. Do you have any contents for that type of business? I've been struggling to get the phone to ring for weeks. Thank you. I hope that's going to get better for you. One of the things that's working really well when we talk about local areas is the crazy method, of course, because the crazy method does this thing that you try to target a market in the fastest possible way. So running crazy method for local businesses, it's actually working pretty well for a lot of businesses that I have managed or others that I know. Hi Con, this will be my first ever Black Friday. Okay, congrats. In terms of selling on Facebook, just wanted to ask, are there certain businesses niches that benefit more from Black Friday than others? For example, clothing, service businesses, travel agencies, and so on. And how do they compare in your experience? Thanks so much for the value in these older podcasts too. I've seen that you are watching all my previous podcasts. Some of those are relics, you know, you have been to some of them that they're really old. So there are some kind of businesses that they do benefit from that. Let me tell you. So Black Friday is a very unique period for companies that they have products that people wouldn't consider to buy to be initiated. For example, for sure, promotions that they have a subscription, okay? You can convince people, because the guards are down and people are more easy to buy, to go, just enter into what we call, you know, a subscription model, and then just benefit from them into the lifetime value. So if you have a subscription model company, basically you can convince someone to become a member and actually start getting paid from them after that. The thing is this, think of it like the example that I like to give with the underwear, okay? So the men's underwear is something really personal, and when you do have a company giving you maybe a promotion, maybe you're going to consider actually testing another underwear. If you do so, then what is going to happen is that you're going to be able to test this underwear, and if you like it, then you're going to buy again and again. You wouldn't have done that if it wasn't the Black Friday, which is a very good initiation period for you to test a company or something, because your guards are down and there are very good and big offers. So there are some companies and some e-commerce that they are being influenced, that are being benefited more from Black Friday. And these are companies that it's really difficult for them to have the first time acquisition, but then they do benefit a lot from the lifetime value. On the other hand, subscription model companies are amazing. And on the Black Friday, they do benefit a lot because they can just convince X amount of people to come. They have a drop rate of 50%, but they convince so many people that they can make money out of them, out of their recurring revenue every month. Next question. Hello, Konstantinos, thanks. It's coming from Chris. Thanks for accepting me into your group, of course. Love your thought process. So excited to dive in. Already have crazy method working on my account. So glad to hear this. I do have a question I'm hoping you can help with about account stability and adding budget. Do you, for example, add only 20% to your overall account budget every day or anything similar, whether it's with testing new products, ads, scaling, what's working, or a combination of both? So we need to understand the different budgets over here. So if we're talking about spending 100, of course, you cannot do another campaign with $20 just so that you're not going to increase more than 20%. Sometimes I'm saying that you should try to do it in a more controlled way, but in the small budgets, like when you spend 100, you do another 100. So basically you increase by 100%, or you can do two other $100 campaigns. So this is okay on the smaller budgets. What I'm saying is that if you're spending 2K per day, you should not do another 1K for the next day. You should split it in between days. So it really depends on the amount of money that you do spend. Next one. Reason I'm asking, because I'm trying to figure out the best way to continue testing new things or scaling products without adding too much budget to the account and throwing everything up. Hope that question is clear. Yes, it was clear, and I think that I replied. If you do have, for example, a spend of 2K, just do another campaign with 200 or 300. After 2 days, do another campaign, and just do it in a more controlled way. But on the smaller budgets, you have to do this kind of big budget bumps. Next one. Hi, since our last call, I've scaled up 3K in daily ad spend. That's amazing. However, I'm now out of stock, and the pre-sale has caused my conversion rate to plummet to basically break even. Should I pause ads for 2-3 weeks while stock comes in, or just take selling less profitability to hold account spend before Black Friday? How detrimental would it be turning off working campaigns and then turning them back on at the later day? That's so difficult to reply because I do understand that it's a serious problem to not have stock. I do understand the problem of doing a pre-sale because you're going to have a problem with your Facebook page and maybe the page score. But the thing that I must say here is this. What I would try to do, okay? But I cannot tell you to do that because it's your money. Even with small losses, I would try to maintain a spend, lowering budgets, whatever, trying to maintain spend. Depends also on the structure of your ad account. If you have CBOs, most probably it doesn't even worth it. If you have Advanced Plus, you can just drop the spend. But even if I had CBOs, I will try it and just operate with a smaller spend for a period until I have stock again. And try to maintain the campaigns instead of turning them off and starting them all over again or turning them on later. But I think that the most important lesson over here is this. Don't let this ever happen again, because you are ruining your progress, and maybe the fact that you're having some working campaigns doing well, it doesn't mean that you're going to have this all the time. Maybe you're going to have competition which is also spending and it won't let you do that. Next one. Guys, really, the reason that I'm like this is because when somebody tells me that my stock is over and they tell me to scale down, it's the thing that pisses me off the most, okay? Because you have one job to do, okay? To have stock. If you couldn't have stock, you shouldn't have scaled that much, okay? When you scale, you take care of the stock. And if you cannot do that, most probably eventually your business is going to fail. It's really pissing me off because I think that I'm wasting my time on an ad account if somebody comes and tells me scale as much as you know, the biggest lie. As long as we're profitable, keep scaling. Biggest lie ever, okay? Because all of these people, they need to also take care of the stock, having people to fulfill and all of that. And in my life, only one person from my clients is doing that consistently. And whenever he says, just as long as you are profitable, keep spending, and he's doing all the things that he has to do so that he's not going to stop me. Next one. Hi, I followed your advice and created a CBO campaign with 50 daily budget, 5 assets targeting interest, and noticed that the CPM costs are half of those in a broad campaign. So a lot of times, thanks for the suggestion. However, when I optimize, I tend to be too aggressive and often harm the campaign. Generally speaking, if a specific interest goes above the break-even point, can I turn it off and replace the asset with another interest? You can turn it off and you can work in the optimization. Just don't replace things within the campaign. When you want to do changes, do another campaign and optimize all over again. About the other thing, a lot of times people are proposing because Meta says that you should go to broad, and they don't understand that sometimes the solution is on the interest, even while we don't want to always keep using interest on another account. Let me explain. If you're having some results, for example, in the pet niche, okay, that we do have interest to target. If you're struggling with advanced shopping campaign and stuff, and broad targeting, so be it. Don't run broad targeting. Try to see if you can have some success with interest, and then eventually, by the time as your pixel gets better, you will get to broad. There are so many times that I see agencies or freelancers doing broad targeting without even thinking the interest, just because Meta says so. No, just test to see if you're getting lower CPM, because if you're getting $30 CPM with broad targeting and you're getting 15, with the same amount of money, you're actually targeting double the amount of people. This is really important for some ad accounts, and they can have much better results because of that. But of course, as I said, I'm not against broad targeting. You should reach broad targeting eventually, and that should be your goal. The point is the journey until there. Okay. Next one. When launching a retargeting campaign, would you create an ad from scratch? Or let's say, would you pick the best performing video image ad and just adjust the copy and headline slightly to speak more specifically to the warm audience? I would just pick the best performing. Yeah, I would just pick most of the times the best performing and adjust the copy, or even leave it as it is. I'm not focusing a lot on retargeting because with all of these ASC campaigns and stuff, we already do retargeting. Now, if you have a funnel that retargeting is needed and it's part of your funnel and you have to do it, or you have an item which is really expensive and people decide if they will buy much later from the point of the 7 days attribution, you can easily do that and use your best creatives. There is no point of going through the struggle of actually finding good creatives for the retargeting only. Unless if you have another funnel. For example, some people, let's say weight loss, for example, a lot of times they do have, I don't run weight loss ad accounts, don't come to me with weight loss ad accounts, I don't want them, okay? First of all, because on my own, I don't believe on weight loss, as you can see, but on the other hand, there are problematic accounts that I don't want to have. But just as an example, a lot of companies, they do sell an ebook and then they have a retargeting which is selling another product, blah blah, and all of that. If you have different things to sell on the different parts of your funnel, then that's fine, you can do retargeting. Or if you're selling something really expensive that is not within the attribution of the 7 days and the sales are coming later, so you have to capture them somehow, okay? Or if you want to do retargeting, it's fine. I'm not against it either. Next one, got it. And I believe in one of your videos you also mentioned that when testing creatives, it is better not to have a separate ABO. Instead, you just take the best performing setup and duplicate it with new ads. That way you are testing and scaling at the same time. Yeah, I do believe a lot on this concept. I do believe that if you have a structure into your ad account, which is working pretty well, like for example, having a CBO with 105 ad sets, there is no point for you to just have an ABO to test things. You can just go immediately and use the structure and change the only thing that you want to change there is the creative, so you have only one variable. If it doesn't work, you know that you can blame the creatives instead of blaming the structure. I feel like I did a marathon of answering questions, and I hope that I replied everything in the best possible way. I will see you guys on the next podcast. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.